Hey guys, what's up? Eric here for Crossroads Reviews, and today you can see I'm at a different location here at Microgame in Clay, New York with Chris. Thanks for coming on.
Yes.
Steve.
How's it going, man?
Oh boy, it's so good to be here. So, Microgame, what's Microgame all about? What do you guys do? You have a huge selection of new games, but they also specialize in retro games. So tell me all about it, guys.
The easiest thing to say is whenever people ask what we take, if it works, we buy it.
Yeah?
Yep.
So, would you say you go from Atari, well, A to Z, Atari from PS3, I guess?
Yep, PS4, Xbox One. We got
So,
everything.
You have a lot of return customers. I'm one of the return customers. Why do you, what gets people coming back here?
We've been around for 20 years. You know, we've been around longer than any other game store in the area. We've been around longer than any of the GameStops or EB Games or anything, Best Buy, anything. I came here when I was a kid. We have a lot of people that are still coming here from when they were a kid. It's just, we have everything. You know, we might not have it in stock right now, but at some point we did, and at some point we will again. And it's one of those things where you can find what you're looking for no matter how obscure it is. Like, when we think about some of the stuff we've had in the store, we've had some of the most sought-after collectible games of all time. And then we just have, like, the staples. Like, some people just want to come in and get Mario Brothers.
Yeah, the funny thing is a while ago you guys got a huge trade from some guy, and it was the only time I'll probably ever see it. It was a boxed Hagane. And some of you out there may not know. I think that was a Blockbuster-only game.
Yep, it was.
And, I mean, obviously, you have to charge a premium for it, but you're never going to see it again, which was one of the cool things.
We had people come in just to see the collection. You know, they weren't even looking to buy anything because, I mean, some of the games were affordable, but a lot were really high-end stuff. But some people just want to come in and see it, and we'll be happy to oblige. You know, you want to come in and see something cool? Like, we've had Vectrix in, and somebody was like, oh, I've never played one. Here you go. You know, we'll hand them the controller.
Yeah. So, have you guys worked at GameStop before, Chris? I know you.
I have, yeah.
So, what's the difference between this store and GameStop? Why would somebody like me who loves retro games? I mean, obviously, you guys are going to have the new releases, but what makes it different? Why should I come to Microgame instead of GameStop?
The biggest difference is I can really say whatever I'd like to you.
Yes.
You know, I will hold my tongue for the most part. Obviously, we got to get to know you. We're much more loose with you because we know you.
Yeah.
And at GameStop, you're really hamstrung. You have to offer the card. You have to offer pre-orders. You have to offer a scratch card. I have to offer you nothing.
And now
I have to offer you good customer service.
I got to offer him fingerprints now if I
That's
want
right.
to trade in stuff. But that's one thing I love about Microgame is I can come in here and buy. You know, like last year, I bought The Last of Us on day one.
Yep.
You guys didn't ask me if I want to pre-order something or if I have a power-up card or what have you. It's just straight to the sale, and which is great. So, GameStop. You know, I'm not a huge GameStop advocate, which is why I always, even for new games like Mario Kart 8, I'm always here day one for the new releases.
Yeah.
So for new releases, how do you do that? How do you get the new releases in? Do you have like a people that you call, or is it kind of...
we have distributors we deal with, and I basically make the calls every Monday, and it'll go by... We do take pre-orders. We do take pre-orders if you want to. It's fine. That will give us an idea of how many people actually want to get a game. A game like Mario Kart, I'll get 10 to 15 copies of it, because it'll sell. It'll sell no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you then... Because we had a conversation a while ago. You have to order like so many new games so you can get the old stuff, which is ideally what the store is all based on, right?
Yep. Get the old stuff by bringing people in for the new stuff. You know, like a father who's in his 40s, he might have had an Atari, might have had a Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Bring that old stuff, turn it into games for your kids.
Yeah. So explain what you guys do, because these guys have interesting roles, especially Steve here. So explain what you do, because in terms of a game store employee, Steve isn't like a conventional, like, 9 to 5, work the cash register guy. I mean, sometimes you are.
Yeah, you'll see me behind the counter every once in a while. A lot of people don't know I work here because I'm in the back. I handle all of our store's marketing, advertising. I do the website, social media. I do all of our television commercials, voiceover work, any promotional work. If somebody needs to interview the store, I'll go and do the interview. We did a convention last year. I was a guy behind the table at the convention. I hunt down collections. So if you've seen like the Game Chasers or stuff like that, I do that on a little bit different of a level. I don't go. We would go to flea markets and stuff like that, but we hunt the big stuff. Like we track down private collections. Like somebody's trying to get rid of like everything they have.
So how do you find private collectors? I mean, because there's a lot of people that say, post pickups online. Like today I went to an estate sale and I bought, game X that's worth thousands of dollars. Like, how do you find those stuff?
You find leads through various things. You find connections through customers that come in the store that somebody might tip you off. Somebody came in here once and said, I know a pawn shop that's going out of business. I went there and it was like the sale of the century. Everything was $6. Didn't matter if it was a PS3 system or a PS3 game. Everything was $6.
Wow.
I found stuff through eBay. I've had people say you can't make money by buying other people's items on eBay. You absolutely can.
Yes, you can.
It's just, you have to know what to do. You have to, it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm good at what I do, and you get really good at what you do. There's nobody better than Chris at what he does when it comes to helping customers and knowledge on certain stuff. Like, that's the thing, you work at GameStop. A lot of kids are just there, like, out of high school, it's a summer job to make a little bit extra money. They're there for seasonal help. We're here because we know what we're talking about, and we can help you. Like, people come in and have a question about Japanese imports. A lot of stores can't help you because they've either never seen them, nobody's ever played them, whatever it may be. We can help you.
Games in other countries?
Yeah.
That's right. Which is one reason why I'm a return customer. One, because the staff here is really friendly, and I've gotten along great with these guys. But they also know their stuff. So you can come in, like, I'll text him, for example, a while ago, I'm looking for a ColecoVision. What have you got? And he texted me a couple days ago, I've got the Super Action controllers with the weird joysticks, and they look like boxing gloves. It's just that type of, relationship we have is like a business and a customer that keeps me as a return customer. So I got to ask, as a customer, and I'm curious because you guys take trade-ins, what's the most valuable trade you've got? Because I know a lot of people would say, have you got...
we've made the most money off
Yeah,
of?
well... What's the...
I could put it a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
The largest off-the-street trade was a guy came in and traded in. He got over $1,000 for his stuff. That was the largest off the street transaction. The biggest private thing we've hunted down was in the $15,000 to $20,000 range.
Which that was part the Hagane was part of that, right?
The Hagane was part of that. It was 500 complete in box NES, N64, and Super Nintendo games, ranging anything from sports games to Hagane, that has the store record for most expensive game that we've sold. Right behind that was a complete in box Panic Restaurant, and I believe underneath that would be a tie between a sealed Link to the Past, a sealed Super Metroid, and we just sold a complete in box Crusader of Senti for the Genesis.
I wanted to get that, but I didn't get here soon enough. And funnily enough, didn't you have a VGA graded CDI Link game?
We did. We had, which ended up going wrong. We ended up having to take it out of the VGA box, and the seal was torn when that happened.
Really?
There is a thing people ask us a lot. We do not go off VGA. I put zero stock in them. They do not publicly disclose their grading criteria like a comic book grading like CGC does. So we do not take any stock anybody says anything about sealed games with there.
Yeah.
We've gotten very good at being able to tell you a sealed game to the point where we could tell you this was sealed in Mexico, this was sealed in Japan, whatever it may be.
So these guys have a lot of expertise, more so than like a GameStop employee. And the cool thing is that they'll go the extra mile. Like, for example, that huge pickup you got, that huge lot. You drove how many hours? Like 4 hours?
Yep, we drove out of state to get it. Yep.
Which is huge. I mean, these guys are willing to go the mile for the store, which is really not something conventional, I guess.
Yeah, I've been in shady places. I've been, Craigslist deals. I'll scour Craigslist for the store, and we found some great stuff. And you dig through a lot of Tupperware tubs and, people's garages and stuff like that. And there is a fun aspect to it. That's why people make shows out of it. That's why you see a lot of people on YouTube doing stuff like that, because it can be a fun thing. We used to wake up 6 a.m. We'd go get breakfast at a, rundown diner and hit up the flea market before anybody else got there.
See, now that's the fun stuff.
Yeah, we would buy stuff out of people's cars before they were loading it into their tables. We would be done before all the resellers got there, just because we were willing to wake up a little bit early.
On the other end of the spectrum, going out and chasing games, I've came in and traded a lot of games into you. So how would you facilitate a trade? How would you give me like an approximate value on like a Chrono Trigger, like in a reasonable shape? The card is maybe a little washy looking, but the pin connectors are great, sticker's good. How would you grade something like that as a trade-in?
It's pretty easy. All you really got to do is look at it, and you got to figure out if you're going to rebuy it, or if I would buy it. That's the way I look at things. If I would buy it and it's in pretty good shape, we got to go by price charting. You got to go by eBay a little bit. We are retail, so you are going to pay a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes you'll pay a little bit less. It really matters the condition and what we can get for it. If I can sell it for peak value, I will, and I'll give you peak trade.
The thing a lot of people don't realize is that, for example, let's just say somebody comes in and complains, "Oh, Microgame did give me a good price," but the thing people don't realize is that you guys are a business. Your goal is to make money, but you're also there to satisfy the customers. So you have to kind of find a middleman in which I got to make money, but I got to make sure this person walks away happy. in my experience, you guys have done that. I mean, for the times I've traded in stuff, which I now regret, but which is good. You know, you guys have a good relationship with your customer. But anyway, what were you saying? I didn't.
You have to factor in the cost of convenience.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
don't have to wait. You don't have to worry about getting ripped off. We have a warranty on every game. We have an exchange policy on every game. You buy it from Joe whatever on eBay. It might look great in pictures, but when it gets there, like we had a customer who he's almost done with a complete NES set, but his little Samson. When it showed up, it was all Little League Softball.
Little League Softball. Yeah.
He just paid $450 for Little League Softball. You know, you don't have to worry about that with us. You know, and I'm just saying us. Microgame, just retail in general. Yeah. We are a face. We are a company. You can walk in. You can complain to us in person. You can get an answer right then and there. You don't have to wait for somebody to email you back and play the back and forth game. You know, we're here to take care of the customer. You know, and sometimes it seems like we don't because, you know, you don't like what we give you, you know, an evaluation on your stuff. But we have to make money. You know, it is a business.
Well, yeah, there's been times where, for example, I bought a ColecoVision from you a year ago, and the RF cable didn't work. So I call the store, RF cable doesn't work, that's fine, just come back, I'll give you another one. Yep. Which is that kind of thing that's reassuring as a paying customer. Even if something doesn't work, I know I'll come back and I'll get it fixed because you guys are reliable. You guys always care about the customer. You know, the main thing is to keep the customer happy, other than making a profit, obviously, because you are a business. So speaking of businesses, you guys just recently opened a second store in Cicero, right?
Yep.
And for those wondering, this is in Clay, New York, on Route 31.
Route 31.
Route 31.
Yep.
And the other one's on Route 11.
Yep.
Okay, I always get those mixed up. So for those of you watching who are interested in microgame, we'd like to kind of extend a little offer out to you guys. So what would you say? Like if somebody mentions this video from Crossroads Reviews, 10% off, 5% off, something like that.
10% off used game.
Yeah. 10% off used game. Yeah, just find either of these two guys because they know about it. Anybody else may be a little confused. So I guess that about wraps this interview up with Microgame in Clay, New York. So I appreciate you guys coming out and being on.
Oh, no problem, Eric.
Absolutely, man.
I honestly, first time I came here was about 7 years ago. I bought Panzer Dragoon Orta and Kirby Crystal Shards. Nice. And I've been a repeat customer ever since. So guys, thanks for watching. Highly recommend you guys come out to either of the locations in Clay and Cicero. And we'll see you again soon.